It's hard to believe that today we're starting Romans 16, the last chapter in the book of Romans, and it doesn't seem like it was that long ago that we were actually just starting this journey with you guys. We're so grateful that you've joined us and that you've been along with us on this as we've studied what Paul has had to say to the Roman people through this book. You know, while reading this last book of Romans, what really stood out to me was the fact that Paul spent the first 16, 17 verses personally acknowledging those people that helped him and others in this new church that was just starting in Rome. You know, he starts out with greetings. I want you to extend greetings to my sister Phoebe and to Priscilla and Aquila and all these people that along the way had taken time, had possibly risked their lives in order to help further spread the good news, the gospel message of Jesus Christ. And for Paul to take that time to recognize it in a time where, you know, there was still strife, people were still being persecuted for their faith, really speaks to how much these people meant to Paul and what he really thought about the fact that they were taking that time, taking their talent, their treasures to help not only him, but other new believers in following and learning more about God and Jesus and what he had done for us. And that made me stop to think about how often do we take time to personally thank those that have helped us along our way in our journey. You know, those people that introduced us. You know, some people have known who Jesus is since they were little because their family, you know, taught them about that and they went to church then. But even those people have special people in their lives that may have really helped bring their faith to a new level. Or those of us that came to know Christ later in life that maybe, you know, had these spiritual leaders come around them to help them grow, or even more so those people that just looked like you and me, that you wouldn't necessarily think were, you know, anything special, but what they were able to bring into your life to help you understand who God was better. You know, have we taken that time to really to stop and thank them, to let them know what that time that they spent with us meant in our faith and in getting to know Jesus better? You know, and are we doing that? You know, that's a good question. Are we taking that time to open our homes, open our hearts, being willing to lead others so that their knowledge of Jesus can grow? In today's culture, it's so hard for us to take that time, or we say we're going to do that later and we don't make it a priority. And I think that's something we should really reevaluate, myself included. I know that there's several people that have been instrumental in my walk, and I don't know if I've ever actually acknowledged that with them. And here Paul is showing us the importance of that. He's putting it out there for others to know what those people meant, what they've done, because a lot of times they're the unsung heroes. They're the people behind the scenes that we don't always acknowledge as those people that have really made a difference in our lives, in our walk with Christ. So I would challenge you to think about that. Think about who has really helped you in your walk. Who's helped you get to know Jesus better, and maybe thank them for that. And then in turn, remember that we're required and asked by God to do the same thing, to share our knowledge, to share our time, our treasure, our talents, to help others get to know Christ. It's been a great journey with you guys through Romans. We thank you for being here. We look forward to seeing you next time on Wednesday Wisdom.